Hello everyone and welcome back to Tea Time Crochet. Today we're going to be making these granny square earrings. They're very simple. You're just making a really tiny granny square and then you're going to attach your little jump ring and your earring, whatever you choose to have. This is just something I already had on hand, but you can go to Walmart and find all different kinds of earrings, and you can buy jump rings there. That's where I bought some of the pack that I have. I have just a multi-pack that I got. And then the earrings came from Hobby Lobby. It was in a pack that my husband bought me, so I just decided to go ahead and use these since I already have them. But this is what they look like. You can make it smaller if you would like. You could just do 2 rounds. I did 3 rounds, so I chose 3 colors. What you're going to need is some like embroidery floss, and this is just an extra one that I have. But this is by the brand Iris, and it came in a huge multicolor pack. I think it had probably 100 different skeins of these in there. So I actually just keep them in this little see-through paint container that I got, and it came in with all these different colors, so I just chose the 3 colors that I like. So, but you can go and buy these little skeins. I'm calling them skeins because I don't know what you actually call them. Embroidery floss at Walmart or Joann's or any craft store. The skeins themselves are fairly cheap. I would say less than $1 a piece, depending on where you're at. So, you know, probably this set of earrings is gonna, cost you less than a couple bucks. But each skein of the ones I have had 10 yards in it, and I barely used any of it. So the colors that I chose are this light pink, and they don't have like color names on them. So I have this light pink, and then I have a slightly darker pink, and then kind of a purpley pink. And I just randomly chose them out of that container I just showed you. So you're going to want to choose 2 to 3 different colors. You're going to need, I chose a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. You could probably go smaller than that if you wanted, or maybe even a size bigger. But keep in mind, if you go bigger, your square is going to be bigger than what I had. But I just kind of guessed on what size I would need for this type of strand. And this is more like a crochet cotton, maybe a little bit thicker than that. So I just randomly chose the one I thought would work, which was a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. Like I had just said, you're going to need your earrings, whatever type you choose. The only thing that your earring is going to need to have is this little loop on the bottom, and pretty much all of them have that, so you can attach your jump ring. So you're going to need 2 of those. You're going to need a coordinating jump ring. And a jump ring is just a ring that has a split in it. Let's see if I can find one that's kind of opened. So it has a split in it, so you can kind of open it and insert your earring into it and then close it back up. So you're going to need 2 of those. You're also going to need some tiny needle nose pliers, or maybe some jewelry pliers. You could probably use a regular set of needle nose pliers. Considering we're only attaching 1 jump ring, and we're really not going to get too in depth with the pliers. You're going to need your scissors and your yarn needle as usual. Okay, so I started off with the light pink. So I'm just going to start off by saying I'm not used to working with anything this small, nor am I used to working with such a small crochet hook. So if it seems like I'm struggling a little bit, that's why. It's not at all that this is a difficult project. It's just my personal preference is a worsted weight yarn, so it may seem like I'm having, a little trouble with it, but it's not really hard. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to slip stitch to join into this beginning chain with a slip stitch. And we're going to chain 1, and as usual our chain 1 doesn't even exist. We're going to go into that ring with 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Oops. And we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into that ring. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 again. 1, 2. And 3 more double crochets into that ring. So 1, 2, and 3. And then chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into the ring. 1, 2, and 3. And then 2 more, or chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch to that beginning double crochet to join, and then you can just fasten this color off because we're going to be changing to a different color. And that's your first section there. So I'm going to go on to my medium pink, and I just start with a slip knot, and then I choose a corner, any corner, it doesn't matter, and I just attach my yarn with a chain 1 and then pull that tight. So we're going to go into that corner space with 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to scrunch that over a little bit. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into that same space. So 1, 2, and 3, and that's 1/4 completed. And then we're going to skip over to the next corner space, which is right here, and we're just going to repeat that. So we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. and then chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. So that's our second corner completed. So we're going to jump over to this next space, corner space, and repeat it again. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Two and 3, and then chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. Okay, so we're going to skip over to this last corner space and repeat that once again. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. And then we're just going to slip stitch to join into this beginning double crochet here. So just like that, and then we're going to fasten off because we're done with this color. So that should be what you have so far. And you could stop here if you wanted a smaller earring than what I have, but I thought it would be cute to have a larger one. So we're going to move on to my next color, which is this kind of purpley pink. So we're going to start off with a slip knot just like before. And then I'm going to choose a corner, it really doesn't matter what corner you start with, and then I'm just going to attach my yarn here with a slip stitch and then pull that tight, and then I'm going to chain 1, pretending that chain 1 doesn't even exist, and go back into that corner with 3 double crochets, and then scrunch that over, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space. And then this is where it gets a little bit different. We're going to work into this space that we have between the 2 corners. So this space right here, and we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. So just like that. And then we're going to skip over to our next corner space with 3 double crochets. One, 2, and 3. And we're going to have a chain 2 and then 3 more double crochets into that same space. The corners are basically the same as the round before, only thing that's different on this row is this extra space that's here. So 3 double crochets into that space. Just like that, and then we're going to finish out the rest of the square the same way. So in the next space, which is a corner space, you're going to have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then you're going to move over to this middle space, which is 3 double crochets, and then do another corner space and another middle space, and I will meet up with you when I have finished my last middle space. Okay, so I finished my last middle space there, and I'm going to slip stitch to join to the top of this beginning double crochet, and then we're just going to fasten this color off. So your square is basically complete. All you got to do now is just hide all of your ends. So just like, you want to make sure that you're nice and neat about hiding these, because you will be able to see the back of these when you're wearing them, and you don't want it to be all messy. So try and hide them the best that you can and as neat as possible. And I know granny squares are really hard to hide the tails to where you can't see them, so just kind of go back and forth between each color. Making sure that you're only working in the back of the work and not being able to see it through the front. And I just do that back and forth for a couple times until I think it's really secure. It's not like these are going to be washed or anything. They're earrings. They're not really going to get dirty or anything. So you just need it to be hidden to where you can't see it. So go ahead and hide all of your ends, and then we will work on attaching the earring portion. Okay, so I hid all my tails. So you're just going to try and figure out which side you want to be facing up. You're going to have to, fiddle with your square and make sure that it looks nice and neat, like you do any granny square. So you're going to need your jump ring and your earring piece and your pliers. So you want to open your jump ring, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see this. I've zoomed in a little bit more. Hopefully it won't blur out on me. But you're going to open it just like that, and you're going to take whatever corner you've chosen. You're going to go in through one loop and come up through the other loop, trying not to split the yarn, because we want our jump ring to be sideways. So when our earring, so when we attach our earring, making sure that your earrings are facing the right way. My earrings open like this, and it's, if you have like a normal fish hook earring, then it'll be easier, but mine has this little clasp on it, so I need to make sure that my earring, the way my earring goes in is the way that it'll go in your ear with the nice side out. So you're just going to attach that, and then you're going to close your jump ring, and you just want to give it a tiny little pinch just to make sure that it doesn't have a gap there. You don't want to bend it too much. And then what I like to do is I like to turn that little hole down. And see, I bent mine too far. So let's try this again. So just like that. And that just shows that if you pinch it too hard, then it'll get all out of whack and you won't be able to get it to close properly. So you just want it to, you just want those two to touch again. So just like that, and then like I said, I turn the opening down. So just like that. Really simple. I hope that you were able to see that okay. These are such tiny little rings, and I have to zoom quite far in. I'm hoping it's not blurred out. But that is your granny square earrings. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.